Hi, welcome back to episode 3 of the Sister Sessions. This week we're going to be talking all about friendships. Last week we were very chaotic. It was here, there, and everywhere. We were talking about all sorts, and then it cut out and we had to refilm. It was not a good day for us. So this week's going to be more structured because we don't have time to be messing about. First of all, right, we'll just start off with our sister check-in.
Yeah.
Right, okay. What have you been doing this week? Because I need a wee minute to think about what I've been doing this week. Because as usual, I'm not prepared.
I've been to Pilates this week.
Oh, how was it?
So good.
Yeah.
Really enjoyed it. I'm annoyed with myself that I can't see, like when you're doing that downward dog pose, I can't have the palms of my hand and my heels on the floor at the same time.
Yeah.
Can you do that?
I think so, but not by much. Like, my flexibility's got really bad recently.
So I can't do that. I can have them both on the floor, but not flat.
Yeah.
So progress needs to be happening. But I enjoyed it, really enjoyed it, and felt as though I had done a full workout from it without feeling like it was difficult at the time.
Yeah.
So I can understand why when you look at these people who practice it all the time, look very lean.
Yeah.
So maybe we'll be going to Greece.
Nice and
palms on the floor and very lean.
I had my next session of my marriage counselling. It wasn't as bad as I thought, but a lot of it, we were just kind of sitting like laughing, like, first thing first, like I was like that. We went in, and you know that way you do that like laughing, and I was like, stop it, Louise. Because the first thing we went in and said our prayer, and it was like something about our sexualness or something in the prayer, and I was like, this cannot start out like this. But then I was fine after that. But yeah, so see all the rhythm method stuff that Anne was saying, that isn't true. They don't preach that anymore. And like they've upgraded, obviously, so it's no
longer have to pull
out, just abstain when it's your fertile window if you don't want to reproduce.
I prefer to pull out.
And then it was all about like, which obviously was good for other couples, but obviously we've already got a baby, so they were talking about like what characteristics is it in your partner that makes you know they'll be a good dad, and what can they do to prepare to be a good dad. And I was just writing like, fucking help me, like I was writing like a lot of shite. I was saying as well, like I've seen that to Erin because Erin watched Jessica while we went, and I was saying like, so the first bit was about like basically like about love and sex and stuff like that, right? And it was, so we had to do like
love and sex or loving sex.
Love and sex. So it was more like the first page in workshop was about like your relationship, and then it was about like what you see and how like you have kids and what your future, supposed to be your future family looks like. And I was like, Rory was writing nicely bits about me. I left the first 3 questions blank. The last 3 questions I put one word answers. And he put lovely ears. And then it got to like bits about kids, and I'm like that. I'm like, why can I not show love to him? And then it comes to Jessica, and I am like the most overbearing parent. Like, I'm just like, I'm like, get away from me, don't you? What is wrong with me?
As bad as that before Jessica was born?
Maybe not as bad, no, but I still wasn't ever really like a lovey-dovey person. I was a wee bit better, but now I'm just like so bad.
What love you have in you goes to Jess.
Correct. So yeah, like I felt as if a lot of it just wasn't relevant because it was talking about like what to do if you're like struggling to get pregnant and stuff like that. And I was like, we've been at everything she told us that we knew, because we thoroughly researched all of that stuff. But obviously it would have been good for a couple that haven't had kids. So yeah, it actually wasn't as cringe as what I thought it was going to be, but we were just sitting in the back row laughing at ourselves.
I wanted you to be sitting really uncomfortable.
I mean, I did hit a beaver a few times, and Rory was like, "You're purple," but it was actually fine. I think it would be worse if I was sitting up the front, but because Rory's leg, we get to sit right in the back row ourselves every week, so it's fine. but next week it's like workshops, and I'm like, I hope that doesn't mean
Role
you've got
play.
to go in. Don't. I walk
No
out
need
and
to
I'll be like,
perform out in it. Not wrong. Too soon. Too late, actually. Pregnant, not getting married.
no, so yeah, it wasn't too bad. It was a wee bit, but not as bad as I thought it was going to be. So that was fine. So we'll see how next week goes. Right, have you thought of something like you did this week other
Well,
than...
I done makeup yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
I done some makeups. Nice Valentine's Day glam, and then I done Louise's makeup today. Bit rushed in 20 minutes where she had to be at book bug, so it's not very good. And then I done my own in 20 minutes as well. Just doing that, doing stuff for podcast, working. Nothing fun this week. My fun weeks are coming up over the next couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Where I'll have more
Yeah.
chat.
Mm-hmm.
So, right, first of all, have you ever outgrown a friendship?
Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah.
I feel like everybody does. You never, there's your friends who are your lifers who you stick with your whole life. But so many people come and go out of your life all the time.
Yeah.
Because you get friends for a reason and you get friends for a season.
Okay.
Seasonal.
Gandhi over there.
I wrote that down in quotations. If you had outgrown a friendship, like, how would you address it, or would you address it? Do you think you would just slowly let it die and like move yourself away, or do you think you would actually like confront it head on? Do you think it depends on the situation?
I think it's circumstantial. It's totally different for any friendship.
Yeah.
Like,
I agree.
you've got friendships like, I think, like, see, whenever you go to school with people or you go to uni with people, when you're like always your lives are on the same path,
Yeah.
it's so easy to have friendships. But then as soon as like somebody goes that way and somebody goes that way, then a lot of the time, like in friendships like that, it's easy for you just to go apart and not really need to like confront it or address them in any way. It just kind of happens naturally.
Yeah.
But then there's like times where
There's reasons.
the
that you're
reasons
growing apart.
that you're growing apart, and maybe like that does need to be addressed, and then you either decide to work on it and actually put more of an effort in to like try and maintain the friendship, or it's just better to just distance yourself from people.
That says so much in itself though. Like, if my friends are like other sisters to me, and I know like we can be brutal with each other like that though. If there's something happened, I would never think that anything would happen that would cause our friendship to end, because if there's anything between us that's annoyed us, which could end a lot of friendships, we mean too much to each other where we can sit down, call it out, have that conversation, and we both want to move on from it, so we do. And I think that says so much about the type of friend and if they are your friend, because if you can grow apart, understand everything is circumstantial, but if it's a true friend, nothing would break that. Like, people can kind of come and go in and out of your lives, but some of them are acquaintances rather than just friends. Like where you're at in your life. I think.
Do you not feel as if, like, see now, people don't really have stopped going out of their way to do things for other people because they're protecting their peace and maybe like a bit too much, to the sense where they're like, so see if it was like your birthday and you were like, let's all go do this, and you'd planned and your pal would be like, can't really be bothered, they can't, like, they're not up for it. That's just like an example, but you're like, sometimes you do need to put yourself out to make other people happy, and I feel as if I so am like that. Like, I'm always like, Mum, we'll go do it, like, up for it, whereas I feel as if see your friends that aren't like that and who pure bring you down or don't want to do stuff, it does make you outgrow them a bit. You don't want to be around that kind of energy.
I agree. There's a fine line, because sometimes I'm just like, I couldn't think anything worse than going to like something and I'm like, I just don't want to do it, end of. But then other times I feel as if you do that too much, you get too complacent. You need to just be like, do you know what, I can't be arsed getting ready, put yourself fucking up, get your makeup on, and go have a good night. Like,
these are normally the best nights out that you
Yeah, I
have
know.
as well. Like when you're not expecting to
Yeah.
enjoy it as
Yeah.
much as what you do,
Yeah.
it ends up a riot.
I know.
Such good fun.
I know. So I feel as if, like, for a few years, people have been like that, where they're just like, oh, like, I don't want to do that. But now it's starting to come to life where you're just like, you only live once, like, you just need to fucking go up and you can sleep later.
Sleep in your bed.
Yeah.
I've never really had that problem. I turned it
Yeah.
I would always try and accommodate, like, even if it isn't my cup of tea,
Yeah.
I would always still go if it was somebody who,
Yeah.
because you meet lots of different friends, don't you? Like, you meet friends in different places and you're not always going to have so much in common. Your small circle that are round about you, you all, if you're choosing a night out, you're generally all going for the same thing, you're all going to enjoy it. But like going to like a themed night in a hotel is probably my idea of hell.
Yeah.
But some folk plan these kind of things for their 30th or their 40th birthday
Yeah.
party. Would it put me off going? No, I would definitely go for that person
Yeah.
if they meant enough. If I classed them as a friend, I'd be there, whether it's my cup of tea or not.
Yeah.
Unless I obviously couldn't, but it would need to be something really genuine for me not to turn up for somebody.
Yeah. I know, see the more I'm thinking about it, I don't necessarily mean ditching things for your friends. I'm thinking more like work night outs, like that kind of stuff. Like, my idea of hell is I'd happily be like, I need to protect my peace and not put myself in that scenario.
It depends on the type of folk you work with, though, doesn't
very
it?
true, very true.
You think I'm not going, or I'm going to get up, I'm going to go, and I just think, right, I'm going to have 3 bottles of wine before I go. And then fall down the stairs when I get here.
Different coping mechanisms. Don't go, get drunk. I love that.
Do you think you've ever stayed in a friendship for too long?
Yeah, probably. I think, like, whenever you've been friends with somebody for such a long time, you don't want to be quick to, like, just give it up. Like, if something happens, like, as Kerry said, like, when you've got friends, you should be able to, like, hash it out. And in certain circumstances, yeah, I agree with that. You wouldn't want to be too quick to give up on, like, a long-term friendship. But then, and you also need to think, like, is there things happening in this friendship that you wouldn't stay in a friendship with that you had just met because of, like, these reasons?
Yeah.
So why would you continue being friends with somebody who's doing something that, just because you've been friends with them longer, that you would accept it any
If anything,
anymore?
you should expect more of them. They know you, and they should know what's okay and what's not.
Yeah. But yeah, probably.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I don't know that I've stayed in friendships for longer. I think we're all we know ourselves, we know what's good for us, and we're all quite direct folk. Like, I think if there's anything that I've ever needed to address, some things I have, if it's I've valued the friendship enough. If there's things that's happened to me or that's went on with people who at some point in my life I've classed as a friend, some of it I just didn't value enough, like, to fix it, and thought we have simply outgrown each other, and I don't want to be friends anymore. And a lot of these times, it probably, when you look back on it, have been acquaintances. It suited your lifestyle at the time. It doesn't mean that they're going to be a long-term friend. Like, I was good friends with a lot of people, and I've got a load of happy memories with them. It didn't end in a bad way. But when you become a mum and your life takes a different direction, some of these friendships just end naturally, and that's okay. Like, and then there's your folk who are just going to be there, like, for everything. No matter where you're at in your life and how it differs to theirs, they're still part of it.
I think that's so common, but, like, when you've got friends that you go out on a night out with a lot, then as you continue to go on nights out with them, that's fine for your friendships to stay going. But it's like the friendships that would come and do your weekly shop with you, or like when I've got Jessica, would know, right, I'll just come to your house and we'll just have a cup of tea and cake in yours, rather than constantly, like, having to do some kind of friendship
Uh-huh.
event
Mhm.
type thing. Like they're just happy to come and
like Saturday
into your
nighters
life.
almost, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
it suits to be friends at that time because you've got
You're doing
somebody
the
to go
same
out and
thing.
hang about with. Like,
Yeah.
you want to all be going
Yeah.
out and doing the same thing at the same time. But are they willing to give up their Saturday night like that to come
Yeah.
and just sit in yours with you and Jess, like, and
Yeah.
or be in here with me? Like, I know that definitely determines what is a real friend and who
Yeah.
is just somebody who's in your life at a
Yeah.
point.
I think as well, like a lot of people, I think we're all quite like this. I think probably because we've got sisters, we really value our friends and like you, like counting you guys as friends as well. Like a lot of people, whenever they get married or get into a relationship, they literally spend most of their time with their partner, and that is normal. But I think because mum's always done it, like she's always made sure to prioritize our friends and our sisters, and like a Saturday for our family has always been girls' day. So we are so like that as well. Like you make a priority of seeing your friends and family, friends and sisters, like week in, week out. Like there's never a week or usually like 2 days that we don't see each other. So, but some people just aren't like that and like would rather, and I'm not saying that it's any's worse than the other. Like some people would rather just hang about with their partner and that's fine, but you just always, there's a friendship isn't going to last if you're not making that effort to see them like on a regular basis.
And it's fine to like want to spend time with your partner, your other half, whatever you're doing, but it's really important not to not have your friends with you.
You need to have your own life.
100%. Look at me. Like if I would have dedicated absolutely everything that I had to my husband at the time, I would be lost now. Like if I didn't have you guys and little girls, it's you're always going to need them. There's never any guarantee that a man or a partner is going to permanently be in your life. Like it doesn't happen. I hope it does. Like for folk, but it's not always going to be the case. And your friends and for us, each other, like are always going to be the ones that's round about you.
Yeah.
No, because we do spend so much time together. Like the other day, like I was texting my pals and I was like, they're like, what are you doing today? And I was like, oh, I'm doing this with Kerry, I'm doing this with Louise, I'm doing this with Kerry and Louise, I'm doing this with whatever. and I was like, are we codependent on each other?
We are to an extent, I
think. Specifically today, they were like, what are you doing on Friday? And I was like, right, well, I'm going to work, going to do Louise's makeup, going to Kerry's film podcast, then we're going to get our hair done, and then we're going to sit and they were like, all right, lovely sister.
But I love it.
No, I know,
I need that. I don't know how folk do life without it. And obviously it's all we've ever known, right? Like I've really enjoyed being an only child up till the age of 7, but I would never ever not want to have my sisters.
And it fills your cup up. Like I feel like even since we've started doing the podcast, you look forward to doing it every week. You look forward to just having like early chat, like we can chat shit without worrying about if Jessica's going to bump her head.
Like, no, I know.
It's just nice to have like girl time.
I had that. We were speaking about this in work the other day because we were actually speaking about last week's podcast, and I'm like, we had to cut so much out because when you're sitting with your sisters on a sofa, you just run away with yourself. Like you're so inappropriate. Like I'm guilty. Say so many things that cannot be aired, and then you go in too deep because we obviously discuss so much.
Like we're definitely unfiltered, but there's way worse stuff that we will say that really just can't go online.
Maybe it would go viral.
Maybe as folk get to know us, they'll understand how to take us a bit better, and then we might not think, oh, that needs cut.
I when they understand, and it's not, they don't
they'd understand who we are, what we're all about. I know, but we do that. Like how much about 2 hours needed cut from last week purely because we were saying things that we shouldn't be.
We were just like, I was asking her one question. And it could have been about toast, and then 2 minutes, like 25 minutes later, I'm like, what was your question? And it wasn't about dogging. Like, And I was like, so that isn't happening this week. No waffling. Right, my next question is, what's your thoughts on girls who, or boys that, like, whenever they get into a relationship, they completely, like, just patch their friends, because they're always the ones they need when the boyfriend's no longer there, or the partner's no longer there.
Yeah, it's never been something that I've generally been okay with, because I wouldn't like to think that I would ever be the type of person who would do it. And like I've just said, you need your friends so much more. Like this year, I don't need to see the girls all the time and know that they're there, but for probably the past year, like two of my friends in particular, like a night a week, they know I'm okay, but they're still, hi, what's just here, like just to be here. And that isn't, there's not a lot of friendship groups that would do that. So I do not think it's okay to give up your friends for a man.
No.
Especially when, like,
bring them part of it. Like, let's all be friends together, but you need your friends.
You can't just leave them. Because, like, I feel as if your pals are different. Like, see, even a partner, they're never going to know you where your friends have, because your friends grow up with you and they see all different sides of you. I always say this to Beth, right? No matter what man she meets, they come in, they think they know Beth back to front. I'm like, 20% of Beth, like, she lets you see. And then I was like, whatever narrative she's pushing, so you're in. And it just makes me giggle, because I'm like, believe what you like, but she is wild. She'll like cast it.
I spend a lot of time with Rory, but I would never be alright with just...
That's the way you want it to be, though. You want to be able to spend a lot of time with your partner and know that your friends are still just as important as what they were before you met them. You need to make time and put effort into all sorts of relationships. You can't just go with one and then, especially when you're younger. Like, when you're younger, we've all done it, like met somebody and thought, it's me, I'm with them for life, and it's never the case. And then you've lost a lot of your friends, even more so people who befriend all the other girlfriends.
I hate that.
Like, you two have known each other for 20 years and were never friends before you started going out with these boys. Like, why all of a sudden is that now your favourite human? Like, I just don't understand it. But
I really struggle. I feel as if, like, I struggle with that, because I feel like a lot of people can have, like, kind of superficial friendships, and I don't mean that, like, in a negative way. Like, people are fine just going out with, like, acquaintances and enjoying a night out with them, and I can do that to an extent, but that drains my social battery. Like, I could go out with yous 7 nights a week, and, like, a few of my very close friends, I would be the same. Like, I could spend limitless time with them and not feel drained. But, like, the thought of going out with Rory's friends and just, like, let's say if he went on a football night out and I went out with our girlfriends, like, I could do it, but, like, not on a regular basis. Like, I need to be with people that I have, like, a deep connection with.
Because,
like,
you're just you, right? It isn't an effort. You don't need to, like, just make silly daft chat. You can just do you. If we go quiet for 10 minutes, we're all like, right, what's going on in that head? Like, what you thinking about? But we still feel like it's okay to do it. We don't need to feel as though we've got to put on a show for all these people because we're going to be spending the next 4 hours with them.
No, I know. And because you need to do it, like, you can't just be like, oh, I'm not going out with you, your pals.
You're not my friend. No. Like, you want to be able to go out.
And that's
join
how obviously you meet
get on
new
with
friends.
people.
Like, they might then become a deep connected friend. Like, but you need to have your own people as well, because see, the 9 out of 10 times you split up and then you lose a full friendship group. Like you thought were your people and they weren't actually your people. They're your partner's people and they're just your people for now because you're with them. And that happens to so many.
Comes along.
And she wants to go out with them, and then who are they picking? They're going to pick their friend.
No, I know.
So,
which role do you think you play in your friendship group? Like, everybody's got their own.
What do you mean?
So, like, in my group, I'm the planner, I'm the organiser. I get everybody rallied up. I'm the one that talks in the group chat, starts with plans. I'm the one that does everything. They just turn up. They don't even know I do all of these. Like, I'm that one. But I'm also can also be so laid back. We all kind of you can all take turns, but I always do planning. I hate when they plan it because it's never good. But also, like, when we go out, I can have a pure laugh. Like, I'm always pissing myself laughing at someone and, like, I'm a funny one and I'm a planner. That's what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
I'm neither.
Yeah.
Nor funny nor plan.
I can be funny sometimes.
I never plan anything.
I do plan stuff, but if we are doing something as a group, it generally lies between Stephanie or Claire.
Yeah.
Their organisational skills are on another level. Like, they have a file of facts, and when something's in the file of facts,
can't be moved.
It's not moved. Never moved. It is there. Like, Claire can screenshot me a week, and it tells me what my children need for school, where we're at, where we need to be. Like, she's super busy. Like, she works shifts, so she is the most organised person that I've ever known. Stephanie's also very organised, and she likes taking control and doing everything, like making sure everything's. She also needs to know that for herself. She needs to know she's going here at this time and there at that. I don't need to know that. I need to know I'm going to Marbella on Friday the 12th and I'm coming back on Tuesday the whatever. And that's good enough for me. Stephanie needs to know what time's the flight, how are we getting at the airport, who's taking us to the airport, what's for luggage. I'm like, what can I take? Like, somebody just tell me these things and I'll be there and I'll do it. I don't need that element of...
But that is Carol, an alien.
I know. I think I'm so like Stephanie, like that day to day. Like, when it comes to like all the stuff that we do, I like to just show
Backseat.
up and let somebody else take control.
And I wouldn't mind doing my bit. If somebody said to me, like, generally, if we're all going away as a family, I'm the booker. Like, I'll go on and I'm fine with that. Like, I don't mind doing it at all. But they need it done in a certain way. So if there's somebody who's so pernickety and needs to know it, like, I'm all right with them just doing it. Just suit themselves and then just let me know what the plans are. That suits me.
Yeah. If we were Sex and the City characters, right, what one would we be?
I need to say, but see, watching it first time around, loved Carrie. See, now she's problematic.
The best shoe collection you've ever seen in your life.
Oh, absolutely. But I watched, like, and again, probably because now I'm a mum, I watched like a clip on TikTok the other day, and it was when she went over to visit Miranda when she just had her baby, and she was like, I've got the whole day, what do we can do, blah blah blah. And then, like, as soon as like she realised that all the attention wasn't on her, she fucked off, and she was like, I've got New York at my feet, I can go and do this. And like, she wasn't a good friend to her. Do you get what I mean? Like, she actually wasn't a very good friend.
But it hurts me a bit to see it.
I know.
Loved
so do I. Like, I love that she's so carefree and like she's a good character. But I think as you get older and rewatch things, you start to notice like her flaws.
But it's also like, I do get what you mean, because I do agree to an extent. But it's realistic that she's got, because everybody's that can be a bit like that. Like, oh, fuck that.
I think I'm probably like Charlotte. She's like that kind of like we have got, haven't we? Do you know what I mean? Like,
I'm probably a mixture.
So am I. I think we're all a mixture.
Yeah.
Me and Laura were talking about it last week.
Maybe I'm maybe between her and Miranda.
That's exactly what I said.
Yeah.
I'm probably a mixture of Carrie and Samantha.
I know.
Yeah.
I think I'm probably a mixture of Charlotte and Carrie.
Yeah. You're Samantha.
Like, if we all had to be one, you're Samantha, you're Miranda, I'm Charlotte, Laura's Carrie, I'd say.
Yeah.
If I had to. Because you're like...
Miranda does my fucking number. I hate her.
You're super efficient.
Samantha's a slut.
Aye, and so you.
I've never had a one night stand in my life.
I know, but you're just such a sexual being like her. Like, you might not be a slut, but you are like, I don't really know how to word it quite right. You're just a sexual presence.
That's probably because I'm all right with speaking about
Yeah.
it. Like, I'm fine.
Yeah.
Like, you are all. You don't like, you don't really speak about
Yeah.
sex. Like, none
Yeah.
of you do.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe it's an age thing. Like,
Yeah.
maybe it's as I've got older, I've probably always been comfortable speaking
Yeah.
about sex, to be fair, but
But you're on another level. You talk about it with like mum and dad.
not with my dad.
I mean,
Never. I've never spoke to my dad
Well,
about
you're-
sex. But I remember though, I've always spoke really open with my mum because I've always probably valued her opinion and what she's
Yeah.
had to say about stuff. Like from when, so I've always discussed everything with her really. And I remember the first time ever having sex and phoning my mum to tell her. Like, and she was like, Kerry, we can discuss this when you come home. I was okay, bye. Like,
yeah, I definitely didn't do
Mhm.
that.
And then Maureen had, I'm sure it was Maureen, was it Maureen or Katrona, said that my mum then obviously hung up the phone to me and went straight on the phone to one of them, traumatised, like I'm away buzzing, loving life, phoning my mum, I'm no longer a virgin, and Aileen is horrendously
Yeah.
upset, like phoning her sisters to explain my daughter's just phoned me she's had sex for the first time. But I know.
To be fair, but I would like to have that relationship with Jessica. I'd like to think that she could tell
I
me
think
that.
we're all going to have this relationship with Anna.
Yeah. Oh God, I know. I'll be like that speakerphone.
Group call.
Group call.
Right, guys.
Guess who I've been eyeing up? And it's somebody who's 10 years old.
I know.
She was telling her she had 7 crushes in school, and I said who, and Rory said 2 of them. And she said, well, I said, well, who's the other 5? Because there were 4 people in your class. And she said, they're not in mine.
Big boys.
I was like, 8 and 7.
She scared me.
She's funny. Who's your favourite fictional friendship? I thought that was a good one.
Christina and Meredith.
I knew you were going to pick that.
They are just bonded.
Yeah.
I love them too.
I
so
love them
much.
too as
But I
well.
also love Meredith and Alex as well.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You
I
won't
love
get
Carrie and
You won't
Samantha.
get, yeah.
Yeah.
You didn't watch Grey's to see them 2 becoming friends. It's like after
I've
Derek
only,
dies.
so I've only watched like the first seven series maybe.
Yeah.
I needed emotional breaks.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I couldn't keep watching
Yeah.
that.
So did that, to be fair, but I've then since watched that about 20 times.
I rewatch it, but I
Yeah.
rewatch what I've already
Yeah.
watched.
Mhm.
I just like
I know,
Derek
Derek.
and Meredith.
I know.
Mhm.
And then, but I do like Meredith and Christina.
Yeah.
They're great. But I'd probably choose Samantha and Carrie.
Carrie.
Yeah.
I asked the question and I didn't know who I would pick.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's loads of stuff you watch, but they're not necessarily good friends to each other. Like, all my
Yeah.
favourite shows, they're not really like good friends.
What was Misha Barton and the OC?
OC.
Her and
Yeah.
what's her face?
Summer.
Summer and what was her name in it? Marissa.
Marissa.
And Summer. I like them too as well.
Yeah, me
But I
too.
love them, Ryan and
Seth.
Seth.
I preferred them.
Yeah. I love them.
mm-hmm.
I know, because you always find that they are like see like Brooke and Peyton. Like, you do love their relationship because they do always come back to each other, but Peyton probably wasn't a great friend
No.
to Brooke at all.
Well, she slept with her boyfriend
I know,
twice.
I know.
Mm-hmm. That's not acceptable.
No, but like, maybe that's a friendship that should have been left in the
Ended.
past. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What was that other programme we watched in the Blair and
Serena
Girl.
again.
They were
They
horrible
they were
friends.
not
not
good
good
friends.
friends.
But always came back to each other.
I know.
And they did have each other's back when it really came to it, but they did fuck each other over a few times in between.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go Christina and Meredith, I think,
Me too.
because they're like weird, but like they accept each other for what they're like, and they're just gone.
No
with it.
judgment.
Mhm.
No judgment
Which I like.
whatsoever.
Right, now we're going to just go into a sister who's most likely to, right? So I feel like for it to be authentic, we all shut our eyes and then
Right.
point.
Okay.
Right. Well, I will. Right.
What if the answer's Laura?
We'll point to the camera.
Right.
Right.
Who's most likely to cut a friend off without warning?
Do you point at yourself?
You open once you've pointed.
Yeah. I know. Okay.
You're pointing at yourselves and each other.
I'm like, we could all do it.
I know, that's true.
You actually probably less likely to be fair.
I would say it's me or you.
I feel as if sometimes
you hold on to them.
I'm too emotional. I think with people and think, oh, they've done this, but they've not done it to hurt me, so I feel sorry for them.
Yeah. I've cut folk out my life. Like, we know.
I know. I have to.
If it's something that I feel like I can't move on, like it becomes a fake friendship for me. It isn't something that I ever want to have.
No, I know. Who's most likely to stay in a toxic friendship too long? Right, open. Yeah.
Or Laura.
Oh yeah.
I keep forgetting about it. Right, okay.
Yeah.
You too.
Right, okay.
Right, close your eyes again.
Right, who's most likely to forgive too easily? I put Laura.
Yeah.
I'd say you or Laura.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't
You wouldn't forgive it, but you would be up to sorting it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd say so. Depends what they've done.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm already to forgive people if they've not done something that's directly hurt me and it was just something stupid they've done.
It depends who it is and what they've done as well.
Yeah.
Like, is it somebody who you know it's out with their character, then they genuinely wouldn't be doing something to particularly hurt you?
Yeah.
Then you, of course, you would fix it.
Yeah.
But if somebody set out to hurt you, done.
Yeah, no, I agree. Grudges the longest. I don't feel
like I hold a grudge really. I just kind of let it go.
Just be done.
You're like,
I just never forget it.
Yeah.
But see if I can discuss it and move on from it. Like but until it's that point.
Yeah.
I just can't.
I also feel as if I would hold a grudge more if somebody did something to you and they did to me.
Me too.
Like
100%. I'd rather somebody hurt me than hurt any of you three.
Yeah.
I can't cope with that.
Yeah.
With all. Yeah.
Is the mum friend in friendships?
Between the four of us, who's most likely to be the mother of the four of us, or in our own friendship groups?
No, in our own friendship groups. You
probably
think so.
I think Louise, because
I would say Louise as well.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like anytime you are like if I was like, Eddie, I'm going to Dubai tomorrow with somebody I met yesterday, she'd like slay, you'd like
I know.
I will please don't go.
I know. She was already telling me she's going on a date and I'm already thinking maybe me and Rory will have a day out in Edinburgh.
I'll give the phone me if you need picked up. Like I'll turn up. Like if need be, I would come and collect you. But I would fully encourage the trip to Dubai.
Yeah. Right, we've had some technical difficulties. Why is this happening to us constantly? Last week, cut out, had to refilm, and we've done the whole episode this week, cut out, refilm. So if you've got to this point, this is take 2. Right, we'll get into hot topics first.
Yeah.
So we're going to the cinema tonight to see Wuthering Heights.
Mm-hmm.
That's our Valentine's night out. So what have you got to say about that? Because I can't remember what I said previously.
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
I haven't read anything or seen any reviews, or I haven't seen anything about it really, so I'm looking forward to going and seeing it. I love a wee night at the cinema.
Yeah, I know. See, regardless, it's like a nice wee night out. It doesn't matter. because normally we got going shit anyway, like in movies. No, we can have a full discussion about Wuthering Heights next week whenever we've actually watched them and divulged. But I do really like Margot Robbie and I really like Jacob Elordi. He bugs me a bit. Like, I really liked him in Kissing Booth.
Yeah, me too. That's the only thing I've really saw him in, to be honest.
Did you watch Euphoria?
No.
I haven't watched that either.
I've seen clips of that. I couldn't get on board with that.
He's evil in that, evil.
Is he?
But, like, not, like, hot to an extent, but, like...
I don't fancy him.
Yeah.
I think it's because he's dead tall, and he's not... I don't fancy him either, but, like, he's got good aura.
Yeah.
And that. Just crazy. A bit like Stephen from Tell Me Lies. But, like, probably worse.
Psycho.
Yeah. Like... And it's so his dad is Mark Sloan in it.
Right, okay.
Eric Dane. It puts you off Eric Dane something awful.
That's why I couldn't watch it.
Oh, I don't want to watch that then.
Because he's like
pervy in it,
he's like a pervert, so he's like his dad, but he like sleeps with like underage girls. It's like, and he's a pure creep, like it's not good vibes.
And that's what Euphoria?
Yeah.
No,
it's a good show, but like it's just a lot. And I can only see him as McSteamy, so
I'd rather see him as him.
Yeah.
Did you see like he's like near death door as well? That's so sad.
I know.
What is it? Has he got motor neuron?
ALS. It's similar. But he was saying, like, he was doing an interview and he was like, I can't like move my hand anymore, I can hardly talk, like a pure stutter, and he's like, I want to just die, but I don't want to leave my kids behind and all that. I'm like, that's awful.
That is so sad, isn't it?
Awful.
Oh my goodness, that's something you don't even want to think about.
And could you imagine like watching yourself deteriorate like that, like slowly losing all of your functions? It's awful.
I know. Horrendous.
I seen that the other day. Sorry, I've had an awful thought. Right, and then so this is like unrelated to him, but I just got a word pop in my head. I thought pop. I was watching like the Jeffrey Epstein, like all the files, like really awful. Like,
have you seen it on Netflix? Have you been watching that on Netflix?
No, it's just so like the government's just been releasing loads, so it keeps coming up on like my Twitter, and it was Stephen Hawking, like, and it was like pictures of him with like young girls, like about 14, and there was like their stories were coming out a bit like what they'd done.
But do you think that's real, or do you think that's like people on AI, like
he was on that island. Like, he was a part of the loads of footage. Like there was pictures of him and stuff with him, so it's not as if he's like just there for like a gig.
I know, but it could be doctored images.
I don't think so. No, because it was government that released them.
Was he in a chair at the time?
Well, he's always been in a chair, is he not?
I don't know.
I think he was born like that. But whatever happened, people were like commenting on it, like he needs to get unplugged.
I'm so confused.
Push him in the water so that he doesn't.
How could he
physically sexually abuse people? I suppose maybe like because he's intelligent with a computer, and he's maybe like saying this is what he would like, and then somebody's facilitated it for him.
Or maybe he's like, it's not been like a physical assault, but like a
mental assault,
abuse of power in the industry.
No, I'm just thinking like maybe he said disturbing things to them.
No.
Surely nobody's putting that in amongst the Epstein files.
I don't really know.
He's definitely involved. I'll investigate it further, but I just like it's not funny. But like just before somebody's like somebody's commented that underneath, like, get him unplugged. Like, why are you allowed to be sexual assault? Which is awful. I just can't stop giggling at things.
Like, are you allowed to put as much in and name their names?
I know.
And we be sued.
Who's going to listen? They wouldn't even understand us.
They might.
No. But it has been released, and that's what I've seen, so it's not as if it's lies. What's the word that you're allegedly? Stephen Hawking's allegedly done this. I read it, it's like so much more nuts than you would even think.
I don't even know if I want to read that.
I don't know if
I quite like being ignorant.
Yeah.
Blissfully unaware. But again, with the heights. I know. That influencer, this is really sad hot topic this week.
So Lorna Luck, she was like the original influencer, her husband died like 2 days ago or something. It's just so sad.
So sad.
Because you can just tell like they're so in love with each other. Like he was so much older than her, but like they were just one of them couples that didn't care what anybody thought about them. Like they were just dead in love. And you could see it, you can tell when people like are genuinely in love and don't put it on for like show.
They just look happy like all the time, like whenever they're together. And it was just they two, like she didn't have kids or anything, and she often spoke about it, or she does often speak about it, like on her social media and stuff. But they just look like the most happy couple. Like, it's so sad. She'll be absolutely distraught.
I know.
What kind of cancer did he have?
I'm not sure.
I don't know actually.
Not sure what he had.
But he like fought it like to the death. Like he came back so many times when they probably shouldn't have came back. Like
See, when you see all of these people, like, because obviously, so like as I said to you as well, like about James Van Der Beek, like he's obviously died. We are so lucky in our family, like nobody close to us has ever died or like had like obviously Gran, but other than her, like that was so long ago. Nobody else in our family has had illnesses or died. Like we probably take for granted because you hear so many people all the time.
I know,
like,
it's so sad. It's horrendous.
like
Gran probably is the
only one. Like we would be like close to it. Obviously, me and Louise never met her, but you did. Any other hot topics for this week, or do you think that's a bit covered?
What about this Super Bowl thing?
Oh yeah.
Did you watch that? Did Rory watch it?
He stayed up and watched it, but I didn't.
Like, why is this so annoying? Thing,
though? Me and Louise were having a conversation last night, and it was like watching. It was like people skiing down a mountain. I was like, I couldn't care less. I didn't even know Olympics were on.
The Winter Olympics
constantly watching anything that's going to keep him occupied though whilst he's
honestly, it's just like so annoying. So we were having a full in-depth conversation, and he was just like something about his fucking telly, and I'm like, you're so rude. We are talking. Then I said something like he was interested, and he was like, what was that you said? So he's got one ear if it's in interest, and
the other ear's on. Super Bowl. Like obviously this big thing about that Bad Bunny, like doing the Super Bowl performance, and I can't understand a word that he said, and I don't particularly watch the Super Bowl, but see other folk doing their version. Have you seen that? Like some other people. What did you call him that was on Love Island? And he's friends with Tom.
Tom who?
Tom, is it Tom Clare? Him that goes with...
Oh, Casey.
See his, like on his, he dressed up as Bad Bunny and he done like his version of it, and I had real tears streaming down my face watching it. It was hilarious.
I've not seen anything about it.
Oh, it's so good. You need to watch it. I haven't like a clue, like can't understand anything, but they're just obviously kid lip syncing and kidding on that they can actually sing whatever it is he's singing. But it was brilliant. I was howling at him. He's actually quite funny. Some of the things that he does is quite funny.
He's quite witty, he's good.
But I didn't watch it. I knew Rory would have watched that.
He watches it kind of every year.
Is it American football?
Yeah.
Normally I watch a half bowl.
I watch the performance. I don't sit up to watch it, but I would watch it back, like depending on who's on it.
I don't even really know who Bad Bunny is.
I didn't know who he was either. I know he went with Kendall Jenner.
Yeah. See, another thing, like obviously they were there.
See when he's like, you see loads of all these performances obviously following the Super Bowl. Like he must have done a tour, and it shows you him on stage, and he's just permanently in a pair of shorts, like slapping his dick about.
Oh, really?
The way he dances, like he's just like, you watch it, you're like, why? Too much. Too much going on.
I don't care about Super Bowl. I like to see what all the celebrities are doing and what they're wearing and where they are. Have you seen all this stuff about Alex Errol and Tom Brady? And then Logan Paul interviewed them both, right, for his Impulsive podcast, but like at the Super Bowl. And Alex got up and left mid-interview, and Tom Brady was like, because one of his other podcast was Mike. He's quite like just says it how it is, and he was like, "Oh, I seen you two last night at 4 a.m. and like out with my podcast," and they were like, "Cut, like we don't want to discuss that."
So she's left that other guy and now she's going with him.
And we were talking about, like, see if your boyfriend cheated on you, what would you do? You'd go with his idol, right? But he obviously wouldn't have cheated on her. That's so mean.
Yeah.
That's so mean.
He might have cheated on her, you don't know.
I don't think so.
I
Did not give that at all.
He's better looking.
I seen a girl.
I know.
Braxton is better looking than Tom Brady.
I seen a girl on TikTok, and that Braxton was out in Edinburgh with girls. Do you see it?
Seen that.
And then it was like, as soon as he realised that she knew who his girlfriend was. So that's a bit sus.
No, I know, but he just didn't give that. I actually felt a bit sorry for him. And I feel like I've went off her a bit since she finished him.
Yeah.
It's almost like she's got too big for her boots.
Yeah.
Like she now. I know, because I quite liked her.
I know, so do I. Like, I like watching all her stuff. Like, she's got a dead fun lifestyle. She's got a lifestyle you would want to live at like 24.
Yeah. Right.
Sad,
We need to move on.
Right. Yep. Right, okay. So let's get into the group chat for this week. Kerry, would you like to read them out? That ones are last week's.
I was on a night out with one of my best friends. She always gets drunk and is arguing with people. But this night she took it too far and we ended up in a fight. It ruins all our nights, but I don't know how to address it. Do I just back her up? Or is it time to sort this out? What would you guys do?
I think I would definitely address it. You hate, like, everybody wants to go out on a night out just to have a laugh and just get pissed with their pals and take your piss a bit. You don't want to be like arguing with folk or creating drama. Who can be bothered?
No.
Unless it's something that's genuinely happened and somebody's done something to you, I can understand that, you back it up. But if it's constantly...
I just couldn't be annoyed with that.
I know.
Too much drama in a night out. You just want to go out and have a good laugh.
Fun.
Fun night out with your friends.
Yeah.
And drama can avoid me.
Yeah.
Can't be bothered.
I feel like just discuss it with her and see if she's not willing to stop doing it, stop getting out really.
Yeah,
and just
don't it.
cut
She's
her
no
off.
longer invited.
No.
I agree.
Yeah. She's not fun.
No.
I told my friend in confidence that I was pregnant. Then other members of our group were asking me about it. Should I confront her and cut her off? Because it was not her news to share.
Yeah, I can't get on board with that at all. I think that's bang out of order.
I don't agree with that either.
If somebody's like trusts you enough to confide in you and they find out like such nice news, it's so shit if you then spread it about as if it's gossip.
Yeah, because obviously it is really nice news, right? But not everyone has like such a positive reaction to being pregnant as well. You don't know that for sure that she thought it was really nice news, or like
she wasn't worried or like panicking.
Or exactly wasn't panicking and wasn't ready to share that news with other people.
And if she wanted to, she would have probably shared it as a group and not just to her. So
I remember like when Beth told me she was pregnant, and obviously it was like a big shock at that point. But she like just FaceTimed me at work and she was like a pregnancy test, and she was like, I'm coming to pick you up right now. And I was like, oh no. And we went down to like beside the garages at Burger King. We were just sitting and we were having a serious conversation, which we normally don't do. And we were sitting like going through it all, and I was like, how do you feel, blah blah blah. And then guy from Pick and Save turns up and he's like family wagon gets out.
Normie?
No, it wasn't Normie, it was Normie's brother.
Right.
Normie would have come right up because me and him were on friend basis. I was invited to his for tea and coffee and cake. I was like, I'll see.
As if he like went from like serving her underage alcohol to like seeing her at the school gates and being like, oh, you can come to my house, Pickle.
He's brand new.
Yes, he's so nice. But no, it wasn't him, it was his brother. And he got out of a van, 2 big black bags, rolls, just crispy rolls, chucking them. Like, and I was like, what is going on here? And Bev was like, they must be out a date. But I suppose it kind of like broke the tension of the conversation because we just started pissing ourselves and he was just staring at us, chucking all these rolls in the water. And I was like, well, I just have 300 rolls. He was there for about 20 minutes just launching them in.
I didn't even know Pick and Save sold rolls.
Yeah, because you used to get in and he'd make you up with noodles, and he'd make you up with noodles and he'd be like, roll, free roll. but they were lying out and still. That's why they were. That's why he was showing them. He's like, no idea, no. If you were up with biking and it was like Baltic, you would go to Pick and Save to get noodles. Just so you had something warm on your hands. And he used to let us stand and eat our noodles. I was like, it's too cold out. And he's like, come in, lady.
He's such a nice man.
He's always in next to me. He'll be like, ooh.
He's lovely.
Right, we'll just go on to the next.
I've recently started seeing someone. We got on really well and we have a great relationship. However, he's one of my best friend's ex-boyfriend. They've been separated for 2 years and we did always get on as friends, but we've took it to the next level and I don't know how to tell her.
That's a really kind of tricky situation to be in, I think.
How do you get yourself in that situation?
I let you even have that kind of thought towards even knowing. Because, like, did you know them when they were together?
I obviously, if it's one of our best friends.
I know, I suppose.
It's, again, very circumstantial. That's my favourite word of this podcast.
Yeah. It is, though. It is.
Would I do it? No.
No.
Regardless, I feel as if it's been their boyfriend and they've been together for a long time, regardless how you felt, it's selfish to, unless you said, I genuinely feel like we've got such a good connection, yous weren't meant to be, and if they also agree, and you feel like you could get together, I could get that if you discussed it with her, but you can't just decide this is what I want, so you're in the back burner. And what did it say about him? That he's willing to, like,
allow two friends to fall out over it. I know. But unless, see, the thing is, see, when you watch a film and you know that two characters are, like, destined to be together, you're like, in some circumstances, the friend does need to.
I don't think I would care. Like, if anybody went with any of my exes, other than the ones they would know was off limits. But no, but it's not something that I would do.
Your pals always, your pals know who's off limits and who's not. And if they're that close a friend, they know how you feel about that person. So it does. I feel like you know whether you should do it or not. And asking in for advice will give some, but you know deep down that isn't right.
Also, the fact that you've not told your friend and don't know whether or not you can, you're doing something wrong already. Oh,
agree.
Yeah, have that conversation with your friend.
Yeah.
But I don't know that your friendship will last much longer.
No. Right.
Daddy-o.
Yeah.
Am I telling it or are you
go for it?
Right, okay. So, Dad used to work offshore, and when he was offshore, he had like a bunkmate. Is that what you call it? Like a roommate. Who used to get pissed drunk every night, come in, steaming into the room, wake him up. So there was just a building anger with him. And then he came home after however long he was away offshore for a while, and he was like, right, my socks are missing. So
his
Pringle socks specifically, Erin used to buy him Pringle socks every year. So they had gone AWOL. So then he was away offshore again, and his suspicions were growing of his roommate. And then I think it went on again for so long, and then he just was like, right. And then one night the man comes in drunk, light goes on, definitely like bounced out his bed. And what was it? He was like, if you fuck it, I know it's been you stealing my fucking socks. And if you do it again, I'm going to say about you.
And the guy's like half pissed, like, am I getting accused as a socks thief here?
Yeah. And then, blah, 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 Dad. Then the guy, I think, goes and grasses on Dad.
Yeah. Because he's scared that he's going to get set about on his boat.
About socks. So Dad then, he ends up moving on to like a different job anyway. But we then, randomly, me, Erin and my dad are in Braehead one day, and like Dad's just acting dead sus. We were like walking out back to the car, me and Erin get in the car, and Dad's just like hovering like about, like And we're like, what the fuck's going on? And then he brings us in the car and he's like, that fucking cunt, it's so my socks is over there. Used to work here, had a fucking set up with him. And we're just like,
As if he lives in his head right now.
I know. And we're like, you're fucking insane. Like, as if you're trying to go. He was like sick. My dad is like, he was like 60 at the time. No, maybe I'm a bit
No.
younger than that.
Because we were young.
Yeah.
He was
Still
maybe like 50s.
at least, yeah, 50s. But he is a 50-year-old man and thinks it's acceptable. He say to his children, if you weren't here, I'd go batter him because he stole my fucking socks.
These lovely Pringle socks. £5 semi came every Christmas. Like, I would have replaced for him. Clearly, that poor guy stealing me socks, he's got other issues going on.
I know.
Yeah.
That's just that whole thing of somebody taking the piss out my dad.
Yeah.
You know, like, it wouldn't have mattered what it was.
Yeah.
It just so happens to be his Pringle socks.
I love that story so
I
much.
know.
But in it pure, you just need to know Dad to realise how funny that is and the way he did it. Because I'm such a bad storyteller that it doesn't actually penetrate how funny it was in real life.
She's thinking about much less. In Dad and penetration, On that note, we wrap up this week. Right, so next week, all about
You see it, you'll look in.
Do you want to log in? Fine. You'll just see what's happening. Because again, this has been 3 hours.